Hey everybody! Welcome to another episode of Trenny and C. I'm Trenny, and this is
C.
All right. So today we have, we love the fact that this Shelter Point whiskey is made on our beautiful Vancouver Island, where we live, and they put
Pride of the island.
Pride of the island. We are excited always to show what our little area can produce because it's good stuff usually. So.
And Canadian whiskey, I should say local whiskey, has come a long way.
Oh, yeah.
Sheringham Distillery just released their 4-year-old as well.
Yeah.
And so there's lots of stuff happening. We're coming along, and Shelter Point are kind of the head of the class, I would say.
I would say so.
They're the furthest along. They're producing consistently great stuff. And what we have here...
if you haven't watched it already, just to get an idea of how amazing that distillery actually is, we put out a full 45-minute video of our experience when we were given the Rockstar treatment by Jacob Weeb and
Leon Webb.
Leon Webb, Master Distiller.
So check that one out. That's a lot of fun. That's our entry to travel vlogging or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pop the tap.
Let's do it.
Quiet on set, everyone. Quiet. Production.
Oh, that's a good pop. Do you know what that has that other Shelter Point does not? A pop.
Oh, you're right.
Because
doesn't have the glass top.
Because normally it's like this, and you push it to the side, and it's a little glass.
This thing's going to be worth tons on the secondary market. What have we done?
Right.
Should be opening these limited released, and that was because the bottles were hard to get during COVID, and so it actually has a different bottle style as well.
Yes, it does. It's like
and
this
a real
is
cork.
The taller, and this is the stubby.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of love the.
I love the flat.
I love what's going on here.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think so. This is double barrel. It's the batch 6. 46% unchill filtered, natural color, and look how dark it is too for natural color.
So they've put out.
Look at that.
This is batch 6. They put out a few double barrels before. But speaking of the color, why don't you? We'll pour it here.
I'll pour while you bore.
And this one is aged in American Virgin Oak, and then finished in second fill French oak casks. However. Also, what does it say on the back there?
It says that it's been finished for 99 days in blackberry casks from our neighbors at Coastal Black Winery. So that
explains the color on this guy.
Yeah, and a lot of the double barrels, they've had different finishes on them. So if you have a particular batch that you've liked, then you need to hunt down that batch is the thing, right? Like they've done different finishes on them.
And the other thing is, I don't see it on here, but this, and it usually specifies that it's a single malt. So this might not be single malt. It could be multiple different grains.
And it often says how many bottles it's limited to, but normally at Shelter Point, they're in that 1,000 to 1,200 bottles. This is 3-4 casks.
Pretty limited release for the
very small batch.
Okay, let's get to the nose here.
I will say that even pouring it, I smelled a winey note on it as I poured it.
Oh yeah,
Whoa, that's berries for days.
It is, but it has the signature Shelter Point thing to it.
Oh, shiny
which I describe. For me, I always, and I don't know if other people get this, but I always get this kind of licorice aniseed sort of note to it.
Okay, but this is what this reminds me of in a weird way is the tiny little seeds that come in a little blackberry.
Yeah.
Little teeny tiny I can almost smell pureed blackberry jam in there.
Yeah,
crazy.
This is opening up to have quite a big sweet and sour, jammy kind of.
It actually looks when you look in the glass, it looks like strawberry juice, pure. It's got a red hue to it.
Well, and the other thing is, you look at the legs on these Shelter Point whiskeys specifically, because I've always found that Shelter Point has a really good viscosity. It's a big part of the product. The non-chill filtered, natural color, 46%, reasonably priced. Like, there's a lot of things that are great about Shelter Point.
You know what the thing about that I just thought of with non-chill filtering is like you're almost being rewarded as a distillery for being lazy.
For doing
because you like didn't do a step, but it turns out better.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's like, why would you ever filter something when it turns out better without doing it? It's like one less thing to do.
Well, they like filter it through like a big sock instead of like a big cold chill filter.
Okay, in all honesty, the nose here is so booming.
Yeah.
There's something it's earthy and natural smelling in it. Like, it's almost mineral.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
this is crazy.
This is actually opening up more and more as it kind of
This nose is crazy. This is an insane nose. There's so much happening.
There's a lot going on. Like, I feel
like this is gonna be a long video just rambling about like the intricacies of
one thing about Shelter Point is they are just starting to put out their 10-year-old whiskeys because they haven't been around forever. Right. They're relatively new.
Yeah.
But so this could be anywhere, in that 5 to 8 year range or whatever.
Right.
But they always seem to release it when it's ready to be released. I find it's not like they base it on, we have to put an age statement on it.
Right, like we got to get this out to market. Yeah, no, it's like it's ready. It's perfect.
Like when it's ready, it's ready. And I'm sure they probably keep a couple of barrels to see what it does.
There's almost something like vegetal about it. Like it's got a vegetal, like a berry. It's like that 99 Days in Berries, like made it like crazy unique. But like really good, and like you said, it does have that underlying Shelter Point house style with like the grainy kind of it's almost herbal honey, it's vanilla.
The first whiff that I always get is this weird kind of licorice thing, and then it dissipates.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when we opened those like super old scotches.
Oh, okay.
Smell that for a second. Like not like it's.
Yeah, because it has a little bit of like that fermented.
It's the fermented
kind of berry
blended Scotch note. That's crazy.
Cool. Okay, let's get to sipping it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here.
Ooh. One more for good measure.
Yes. Yes.
You gotta start doing like ASMR.
Yeah. It's super gross though.
Yeah.
Except it's super gross when you just chat.
That is like.
I'm having trouble describing it actually.
It's the right level of potency. It's definitely there.
It's got
it shows
a nice actually presence.
Yeah.
Big mouth presence.
It's big mouth presence, and it's like really like.
The finish is long.
The finish is dry, like the.
It's almost like the end of the blackberry. Like after you eat a blackberry, it like dries your mouth.
I gotta go in for a couple more here.
Well, it's got this like
because the nose and flavor don't 100% match.
They don't 100% line up. No. But it has a single malt, like a bit of a Scotchy feel to it.
That up front is like kind of where the honeys are and like the sweetness, and then it starts to dry out like a red wine kind of thing. But the oakiness is throughout, I would say. Like as soon as you taste it, it's not like I know they talk about it being a virgin oak, so that obviously has a lot of an influence there, but it's not like that kind of gluey, over-oaked kind of thing that you get from virgin oak sometimes.
Like, am I wrong, or does it taste a bit like a sherried scotch? Mm-hmm. Like a bit like this like Macallan-y kind of note to it.
This is pretty damn good.
Well, it's interesting is what it is, too. It's super unique, because it's like, people think of Canadian whiskey and they think of like this corn flavor or whatever. This is not that.
No, this is, and it's not even a single malt like Scotch, even though it's more on the realm of the Scotch world.
It's a hybrid for sure.
It's got like this, like that, those grape gushers kind of candied middle to it too.
This is a wild one. What I'm excited about is the fact that this is going to Dram Club, because I want to hear people's opinion across our viewership and across the country and the continent to see where does this take them from a perspective point of view, because like I'm kind of struggling. Like, is it, is it kind of scotchy? Is it kind of sherried? Is it like just its own kind of weird fruity?
That's what's so cool about Shelter Point, though, is like they don't shy away from putting out lots of different experimental, unique kind of things.
Yeah.
And that's where I think for them, too, they're experimenting and trying to catch their stride of what they really want to present themselves as, which, in my mind, they always have a signature house feel and taste to it.
But, okay.
But
that being said, though, they've already nailed the house style with the artisanal single malt.
Yeah.
Like 46%, it's on the shelf everywhere.
Keep talking.
That's like their base model that you can find everywhere, that I think is like the go-to. But each one of these different ones, where it's like a different batch and a different style, whether it be 100% wheated or double barrel, these are the fun ones that are like, artisanal single malt's great, but these are really fun.
Absolutely. I meant to wear this earlier, but I totally forgot.
It.
I'm almost done the review now.
Everyone's turned it off.
Okay, thanks everybody. No.
But I mean, yeah, we're pretty much wrapping it up here. But another fun bottle from Shelter Point, really good, really interesting, and it leaves you wanting to discover more.
Yes, and it is good quality. Everything that they put into it is like 100% natural. They just kind of do things right for a new kind of craft style distillery, and putting Canadian whiskey on a new path compared to a lot of what people think of when they think of Canadian whiskey. And
not only that, but they're having fun doing it.
Totally.
And we had fun when we went there and watched them.
We're having fun drinking it. So it's kind of cool because we get the first dibs in BC, and then the rest of Canada, like when it comes out to different parts of Canada, they get to try this stuff.
This is the one thing we get first.
Yeah,
which is cool.
And I'm really happy we are able to promote it and genuinely,
enthused about
it to show what other people like what.
And it's getting a lot of hype around the whiskey community right now.
And look at it, it looks great.
And it's
a beautiful bottle.
All right, click like, subscribe, leave a comment, tell a friend, and check us out on the socials at Trendy & C. Cheers.